Welcome to the final IUPUI regular season CSGO match for FACEIT Collegiate Spring 2023. This time, the IUPUI Jaguars will be facing off against Gator eSports from the University of Florida. Both teams are sitting at a 5-2 record. Whoops, I got an echo for 2 seconds. Both teams are essentially playing for their spot in playoffs. A loss will eliminate either of these teams 100%, and a win will put both of these teams in 100%. I'll quickly pull up the full standings while we're waiting, but as it stands, I'm pretty sure a 6-2 record will at least guarantee you a top 10 seed. There's going to be, I think, 4 to 5 games played tonight, and maybe 2 or 3 of them matter. For total playoff seeding, I don't think that there's another 5-2 game tonight, no. Well, actually, there is actually. Texas A&M will be playing against Arkansas, but regardless, whoever wins this game is going to have a higher book hole seed than the other team. So winning this will at least get you a top 8 seed. So you'll be favored to get into the money at the very least by winning this game, just seeding wise. On the other hand, like I said, losing is going to put you down into this 5-3 pool that starts at the 21st. Actually, sorry. That extends into playoff dequalification, and because both of these teams are very low in the book hole standings, and K-State is likely to win tonight and have a very high book hole score, it is very, very likely that both of these teams would be eliminated with a loss. I'm not going to say 100% because book holes is something that I would have to learn how to calculate manually and have to manually back calculate everyone else's schedule, so I'm not really willing to do that, but needless to say, both of these teams are going into this game with the expectation that this is their last if they don't win. That being said, IUPUI has had a ban on FACEIT yet again. This time it's not Big Daddy A for being naughty, it's CMX for smurfing. They should have CMX back for playoffs if they qualify, but standing in for CMX should be Tristan once these lineups are finalized. Tristan is a player that was on last year's Final Four team, and I think is also being brought back to start in playoffs. So that won't be realized if they cannot win tonight. However, they should have a decent chance. Both teams, especially now that CMX isn't playing, are going to match up incredibly evenly, even just in FACEIT level. Both teams are going to have exactly 1 plus 3K ELO player. Both teams are going to have a supporting cast around it that has, probably lots of ESEA League experience, if not high-level puck experience. So it should be a good one. Jack, do you have any insights on maps while I've been rambling on about the narrative here?
Yeah, so WMU played against Florida earlier in the year, and they lost 2-0. Florida picked Mirage in that, and
Okay.
they banned Inferno, so the permaban should overlap, depending on who bans first. So it'll be interesting to see, because we could get Mirage, Vertigo, and a third map. But the way I heard IUPUI, they might pick Ancient. Having WMU bias, I hope both teams somehow lose. But, being a caster here, it should be an interesting game. An admin's already been called, so we're already on a delay. Someone can't get their sub in. It's already on hold.
Yeah.
So, but I think you'll see Mirage, Ancient, potentially Vertigo with a third map, unless something has happened throughout the year for Florida to change. We have time. You could go through Florida's meta games.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here, so.
Since they're on hold.
I mean, it's not on hold anymore, but they still haven't finalized, at least quickly. Yeah. So this season,
All right,
Anubis. I would not be surprised to see. I mean, if you're Florida, I think you have to consider an Anubis pick. I mean, IUPUI hasn't played Anubis since week 1, and it was an overtime win. I mean, since then, I think Mirage has been in at least 2 or 3 of the series that they've played.
They are voting now. They are voting now.
I would assume I would not be surprised to see Anubis either picked by Florida or floated to map 3. But if you're IUPUI, I think you also at the same time maybe have to consider an Anubis ban, depending on how confident you are. It doesn't look like Florida's always picking it, because it's only been in 3 series out of their 7 played. But it definitely it's not a map they're banning, I'll tell you that much.
Yep, they're thinking about their ban right now. They might realize that they don't play Inferno and they don't have to ban Inferno. And then they're gonna ban Vertigo. So yeah, they decided not to ban Inferno, and they actually looked and saw that they play Vertigo. Decided maybe they shouldn't play him on Vertigo. So IUPUI will ban Inferno here.
Yeah,
so
that's a super smart ban from Florida.
Yeah. So we'll probably see. We could see the Anubis. I wouldn't
Florida's
be shocked.
already picked.
They've already picked. So
they had that one ready.
Yeah. So we'll just find out. Either they were quick to that Mirage, or they picked Anubis.
Yeah.
IUPUI,
IUPUI is always banning Overpass no matter what happens next phase. We know that much.
we'll see what the Gators ban here. They banned Nuke, so the Overpass. So they did pick Anubis. I would. I
mean, if IUPUI is choosing between Overpass and Anubis,
they're gonna let Anubis go.
I don't know. I think if you're IUPUI, if I was IGLing IUPUI, so Anubis did get picked. Okay.
They got picked.
So it's between Overpass and Mirage. Okay, it's no surprise
Anubis,
that if it was between Overpass and Anubis, and I'm IUPUI's IGL man, I think I'm going Overpass, because like you've just played so much Overpass this season that like, do you really want to risk it on Anubis? But not regardless, dude, this is exciting. I'm happy to see Anubis here.
So, Anubis is a map that a lot of them have pretty good pug experience on. Big Daddy 8, it was known to be a little bit lost on that map. We'll see if they do any changes in how they set things up.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now.
Straylock and Gumboot, no smokes.
I can tell you right now, it's probably going to be Straylock, Gumboot mid, EXT A, and Big Daddy A and CMX on B in some capacity.
It's CMX. He's getting unbanned.
Oh, right.
Tristan,
who did I leave off? Tristan?
I think you left.
I left off Tristan.
Tristan does play
Tristan
B.
has played mid though too. Blake has some experience on B as well. Gumboot has some experience on B.
Yeah. So Tristan could go B. He could go mid here. Big Daddy 8 should probably be going caves, or not caves. Mog house. Call it house. Did you get it yet?
Yeah, I have it, but I've got to restart CS:GO. OBS is being a little finicky.
Oh, you're restarting for Source 2. I got you.
Yeah.
You're gonna stream in Source 2, streaming a Source 1 game in Source 2.
Yeah.
Literally him, bro.
There we go. Hold on. Let me send you. I'm gonna modify it for you so you can just copy paste.
Okay.
I'll keep the standings page up so that we'll have it ready when the game is over. I'm also going to be glancing over at the the National Championship scoreboard from time to time here.
Just give me updates until UConn's up 20, and then you can just I don't know.
College basketball is the only sport that the only mainstream sport that I know of that still starts their finals so late.
And on Monday.
Yeah. When does the college football championship start usually?
College?
Yeah.
Football?
Yeah, their Monday night game.
Their Monday night game is always 8.
Okay.
7:38.
Because they still do their national championships on Monday night too, right?
Yeah.
Even though they don't even have a Final Four to schedule in on Saturday. Yeah, that's weird.
Well, yeah, no, they do the 2 games a week before, but they still have it on a Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like it. Because, college basketball games are only 2 hours, and national championships probably have a little bit of a longer halftime, so they're probably like 2 hours 10 minutes something. But so because this is Florida's map pick, IUPUI is going to be starting on the CT side. I am not entirely convinced that this map isn't T-sided. I'm pretty sure this map's T-sided at this point in time.
Yeah, this map is T-sided.
If you're a good T-side, you can put so much pressure on the B-bomb site with very little utility use that it just really feels like if you're not stacking B as a CT side, you can just pretty much lose at any time to a well-made B execute. Now, will IUPUI have well-made B executes in their pocket? I doubt it, but even non-well-made B executes can be strong. And then the second that you notice that your opponent starts, B stacking, or you predict that they're B stacking, I mean, A executes can be just as strong. And all you need to do to take A main is throw one Molotov into a corner and one flashbang to flash off pillar. So, this is definitely a map that I think would play significantly different in a game without Molotovs, but because there are Molotovs, there are just so many key parts of map control, like A pillar, the connector from canal to B, mid doors, for example. All of those spots are kind of critical pieces of map control that CTs just get pretty much manually forced off of by Molotovs. That it really does feel like if the T side can conduct a efficient default within the first 30 to 45 seconds of a round, that any execute is viable. So we'll see if that comes to fruition, though. Is this a new anime profile picture from EXT? I think this is new sauce right here.
He has gone from the 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh wait, it's one of those Steam animated ones.
Oh, it's the Steam ones.
Yeah, he's preparing for Source 2. I like their Steam group tag.
We have all 5
Get it? Because the University of Florida is in Gainesville, and their tag is Brainsville.
I get it. I'm laughing.
Good.
Alright, so we should see IUPUI probably just pick CT side. Gumboot has mogged 2 of his teammates.
Okay, they do like to go CT. Yeah.
They will do the CT side.
Alright. So the playoff. This is effectively a playoff game for both teams.
This is for playoffs. This is
playoff game commences 1 week early than most teams would have to deal with it.
Game 163, as they call in the MLB. And we're gonna have an A rush here. 2 sets of util, 2 people on the A bomb site, but one will effectively get smoked off here.
Yeah.
Unless they contact, which
they're gonna throw the full util. They wouldn't have bought 2 sets of util without throwing it. It's a full execute. That molly's gonna go catwalk, and the 2 smokes are gonna go connector and heaven. And here it is, EXT. Getting help from Gumboot from the balcony through the smoke. We'll get that first kill, but just gets completely run over by that running Glock, and Straylock is also gonna go down on that mid rotation. The execute, I think they actually missed their connector smoke as well, but it won't matter. The entries are there. Big Daddy A gonna find that player tough, and he's gonna find another onto Havoc on pillar. It's just now Rickster in a 1 versus 2. Big Daddy A is posted right on his angle. Tristan sticking the bomb with the kit, gets off of it. Now both are fighting. This kit is key here as Rickster, I don't think he expects it because of how many times the bomb was tapped, but this is going to be full defuse, and Big Daddy A already making impact where he is needed. The only 3K ELO player on his team shows up with 3 kills on the round.
Big Daddy A is averaging 26 kills in his last 20. He's literally been on demon time, and the demon is still inside him. He effectively just took over and easily retook that bomb site on his own.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a little bit of inexperience from, I think it was Viffy and Tut. I don't know if he wasn't back to the wall or just didn't realize how exposed he was when players come out stairs like that. But that was just a free opening for Big Daddy A, and that was really changed the pace on retake.
They bought, and Gators buy up here, and then also on that round, someone went out, I don't remember who, before the Heaven Smoke, allowing Gumboot to get a free kill, essentially.
Right, yeah.
And they were both able to get one, at least on that A site. But we got a full buy here. Galil's across the board, one smoke, so they're not going to be able to really do much. They just have to win their Galil A.
I mean, on the flip side, the CTs only have one smoke left as well. Tristan, I don't know how much experience he has in Moghouse, but that is not a favorable angle in any stretch of the imagination trying to take that fight. That's a good smoke to stall the split for just a bit longer. I would like to see a third B rotation here, especially seeing as you have EXT on this A pillar. And it looks like this is going to be a B split. Usually this is where I would call, as a Moghouse player myself, we're out of smokes, we either need to play retake or get a third B rotation immediately. It looks like IUPUI is maybe a little bit behind on this information. Straylock, seeing no one mid, might actually choose to push. Not going to do that, and in fact, Gumboot now, he initially made the rotation A, now just making the rotation B. And will it be in time? It looks like it won't be. Big Daddy A takes the contact, finds 2.5. Tristan looking the wrong way, gets flanked Moghouse. Straylock trades that though with the drop down. Now Gumboot in the smoke, gonna try to make a play through it. Straylock doubles up with the MP9. Now it's just Dad Jorts on the pillar. 1 versus 3, almost no health. And that's a fantastic B-hold with just 2 players. The rotation from Straylock is immaculate through the canal, and IUPUI is gonna stop that force buy.
Yeah, Big Daddy A, good for 2 there. Huge spray to get 2 there, considering Tristan got pinched, but then Straylock was quick on the trades. IUPUI just being able to trade each other relatively quickly is able to win that round, and that's going to force Brainsville to save. Although Zach buys down the 1,000, so he's going to have a bad buy in the second round if they don't win this.
Yeah, that's seems like a miscommunication. Dad Jorts bought head armor, flashbang, Glock. I'm a bit confused by the decisions made.
But we wouldn't understand that from Brainsville.
Dad Jorts has a flashbang here to try to catch Big Daddy A. If it's a good one, it lands right in the doorway. Big Daddy A will get full blind. And it's just been thrown. The flash is good. And they're going to hear the steps pushing in. Big Daddy A with the A1S gets dinked up. Was not traded until now. Tristan finding 2 on the B entry and will probably clean this up. Indeed, he will. How did Gumboot die?
I think he got glocked by Dad Jorts.
Did he try to make a fast mid-rotation and just get caught?
I'm actually not sure.
I didn't even notice that he died. I'm going to watch my stream back real fast. Oh, he was hard entried from the B main players as he was rotating Temple.
Oh.
Wow, I didn't even catch that.
We got the big green on Gumboot. AKs across the board. Good amount of util.
Oh, there was some blockage there mid. Straylock did not get his mid smoke, and it also blocked Gumboot from getting information with the AWP. Mid smoke thrown in by Florida. Counter Molotov by Straylock in the mid area. Gonna give it though afterwards. Once again, Tristan actually has some pretty solid info in Canal here. No one peeking that angle at all for Florida. Meanwhile, mid to A smoke being thrown. Straylock trying to block it. May have been a bit successful. He's actually going to play through it. Good flashbang. Going to entry Gumboot without it. And now EXT definitely going to start to feel the pressure of mid to A. Straylock, he's spraying through the smoke, but that's all he can do. It's just EXT on this bomb site. He's likely not going to be able to... Oh, this Molotov is just so powerful. He's forced out of his spot. Unexpectedly gets one. Dad not ready for that at all, but Straylock trying to make pace off of that play. He gets traded, and Zach doubles up on the Big Daddy A. So IUPUI definitely not prepared for that mid split. Gumboot's AWP completely destroyed. And now Tristan left to pick up the pieces. I think he's going to try to save this AWP. He's going to get away with it. There are players hunting, so if Tristan isn't careful, he's going to get caught out here. Crossing. Oh, he repeaks. Lucky to be alive. He's going to find Havoc. Do a little bit of money damage and should survive if he can win this fight onto Rickster, given that Rickster fights T-Spawn, but it looks like he's going to be content to save this AK. Money isn't good on Gator eSports, all things considered.
Yep. And he survived. Yeah, no, Dad George just swings, no flash, and Gumboot just slow. Like that's really the only reason they lost that round. Like that's a kill that the Opera should be getting 99 times out of 100, but Dad George just hits the shot, and essentially allows for that B split or A split to happen. EXT was lucky to even get one there. But yeah, that was a good showing from
Strelok only
Gator.
oh, there's a smoke there. Gumboot wanted to coordinate a flashbang peek with Strelok into Canal there, but because the Moghouse smoke or the connector smoke comes in, prevents that strategy. I like this Molotov from Tristan. Forces them out of that close spot, and you can hear them running away. It's a lot of good info. Getting a bit greedy with this swing. Perhaps going to catch Havoc looking the wrong way. Controls the spray, but not going to get away. Richter comes in for the trade. Big Daddy A, he's in a... Wow, Richter, fantastic pre-aim. Takes out Big Daddy A. Gumboot collects on the Biffy and re-swings onto Zach. That is a fantastic play from Gumboot and starting to redeem himself for last round. Richter he's hitting every headshot right now, and EXT did not jump throw the retake smoke.
If you're mauling it, like, just wait for the molly to pop. You don't have to peek. Like, you can
he swung through it.
I know, but you can pass through sight and like be blocked by default.
I have to voice enable 0 this game. No fun, no funny clips on the voice chat. Meanwhile, EXT actually gets onto this bomb, but both players Moghouse. That Molotov could make some things awkward, but Gumboot, I think he lagged out there, and that's an ace from Richter.
Yeah, Richter hits every shot there. I don't know if Tristan probably thought that the guy that he heard mollied off was the far guy there. Or having his util out. No shot for Big Daddy A there in that round. He just got destroyed, and then Gumboot trying to do his best. He got 2, even swinging through the molly.
Yeah.
But
the problem that Big Daddy A had there, and I'll return to this. This is going to be a pretty quick eco collection round here, likely for Zach. He got flashbang once. They're going to drop into the canal. This is going to be heard. They're run boosting each other still somehow, and the chaos is actually benefiting IUPUI. They're down to a 2 versus 2, and both players left should have guns, and they have the bomb. Viffy now realizing this, trying to collect the space before Tristan gets there, but Tristan can't hit the shot. Now EXT left 1 versus 2 cannot win. But as I was saying, the angle Big Daddy A established is good if you can draw this angle all the way deep into Canal and see basically this angle here from this back jail position. But because Tristan died, Big Daddy A was afraid of the B main peak and the Canal peak, so he got onto this angle, which can only see into the connector, and is very easily pre-aimable on the entry, which is why it was so easy for Richter to entry that round. Bit of a switch up on AWP privileges here. Big Daddy A gonna likely try and peek. No, he's just gonna use this to hold the B main. We haven't really seen true B main aggression without connector being taken. So I'd honestly be surprised if Big Daddy A gets good use out of this weapon and its intended purpose rather than a scrappy purpose. Should be noted, Strelok has just been flashed into A main. That's a lot of space and a lot of information. Meanwhile, Richter into Canal.
I don't think Tristan knows. I don't think Tristan knows.
He's not acting like he knows. And Richter, he's so confident off of his ace in the previous gun rounds. I wouldn't be surprised to see him just kind of walk up. There is literally no utility on the CT side, which is completely contradictory on the Florida side. A full belt of util really across the board still for Florida. This is not going to be an easy round for IUPUI to win.
So awkward watching Tristan's POV here.
And now space is starting to be taken B main. This is where just the B execute comes in, and you don't have that fast rotation yet. Here comes the smokes, here comes the flashes. Tristan now going to know there's one close. That nade trajectory helped. And that Big Daddy A going to collect Zach in B main. And now the T's are having some apprehension on how to approach this bomb site. Gumboot taking the space. He knows the bomb is now down in front of everyone. Gumboot, he's down looking B main. How is he not dead yet? Havoc goes down, and now Gumboot redirects towards B main. Almost finds Viffy down to 25 HP. Big Daddy still in the back of this site with an off from Glyphs. Misses the shot on Dad George, and Dad George will not miss. EXT, a very fast rotation, but I think that jump was just heard. Never mind. Viffy planning goes down. And now EXT in a 1 versus 1 health advantage to him in 11 seconds. The time advantage as well. He's running away. Almost gets caught up by Dad George. Now is going to be forced to plant on the other side of the pillar. And now EXT just now getting back into the Moghouse. Swings insta headshot onto Dad George. That's a tricky angle to pre-aim as a defender. And really just Dad George not expecting the head of EXT to be so low. Nice pre-aim by EXT as well to find that very quick headshot, and he'll collect that AWP from Big Daddy A back glyphs. No, he won't. He will just leave it on the floor.
He
got
gets
it.
Yeah, no, Tristan able to find one there, and then Big Daddy A doing, I think he got 2 at the op, but really, Havoc not swinging B main. And catching
He's
out
just afraid of the op. He's afraid of Big Daddy A's op, and he won't swing because of it, yeah. So just the one kill Big Daddy A gets actually nets his team not only the second kill, but also like 30 seconds of stall time, which allowed EXT to get close enough to deny the bomb plant. Big Daddy A by far and away the MVP in that round. This mid defense has really only been pressured once, and you can say the same about the A defense because the split came in the same round. B has really been the pressure points of all of these rounds thus far for Florida. It'll be interesting to see how much IUPUI chooses to push the envelope with that. And here comes the same mid utility set we saw Florida use when they took a mid to A. I wonder what the adjustments will be from IUPUI. Strelak playing a lot more aggressively because of the MP9 than he was last round. His default came in. The bomb is still located over towards B. I think that's the same mid smoke they've just thrown twice now. Strelak getting flashed, and it's going to result in an entry for Florida. Tristan trying to make up the space that was just lost. Gumboot trying to hold on to mid. Meanwhile, bomb rotating over to A. Tristan, he'll catch out the cross here. Will Viffy be ready? He will, but the bomb goes down. 58 seconds left. Tristan's going to retreat, and that's going to cause a lot of deliberation and stall time on the terrorist side of Florida. Gumboot still, this lone mid defender playing an off angle outside of the smoke, wins the fight, and gets away with his life as well. Trade comes in. Tristan finds Rixer, goes down to Havoc. EXT rotating into mid. Jaguars, man, he's been so good on that fight. He's won it 2 straight times to open this A bomb site, but do they know? Can they expect Big Daddy A to be rotated so fast? The kill they got was on the A connector. Do you really expect a player to already be heaven? Does Big Daddy A expect this A main player? That Molotov will reveal it. Big Daddy A not peeking this angle. Gonna take the fight, misses the initial shot. Put under a lot of pressure, somehow not killed. Jaguars now swinging all the way out to stairs. Gumboot gonna call that to Big Daddy A. Jaguars goes down to Gumboot. That's a great crouch spray. Havoc still playing around the middle of sight. Gumboot not ready. Goes down. Big Daddy needs this shot, and he doesn't hit it. Still alive somehow. But is finally taken down. Havoc, the trade onto Tristan and the double entry in the post plant. Florida onto 4 rounds, and IUPUI struggling to find an answer on the CT side.
Yeah, no, Tristan was able to get a lot of space there and even find 2 huge kills. I thought when Tristan got the second kill, I thought basically like that's it. IUPUI is gonna win this round, but no, Florida kept their cool. Big Daddy missing some crucial op shots on the guy, first on the guy Khan and then on the guy's site, and Havoc was able to play that post plant really well. Isolate the 2 1v1s. It was going to force IUPUI to save.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like IUPUI is really doing anything too special here. Hoping for maybe some close-range duels and to steal some guns on defaulting
They
players.
might give it to him.
This is going to be a flash into doors, though. Anti-flash has only been played by Straylock, and yeah, I mean, that's the second round in a row now that a flashbang from Florida has killed a doors player. Tristan trying to make some space. That op is in a bit of danger, but is going to be saved. Havoc, 2 quick headshots on the spray, and this is going to be a done round. Havoc, double 3K, likely to end up on 4 here. Indeed he will. Florida takes the lead 5-4 on their own map pick. The T side, like we've mentioned, has been very strong to start out, and like Anubis's lifespan, we'll say, as a active duty map, but this is not really the space you want to be in to start a CT side, particularly because of how low the economy has been. I mean, I don't think we've seen a single full buy from the IUPUI side where everyone has their gun and utility. We haven't seen it, I don't think.
And they decided at low 400s or low 4000s to full buy here. Only 3 smokes.
Oh, that's the second time now that Strelok and Gumboot have griefed their smoked mid. And I mean, Florida is just going to take that space immediately now. Already smoking, the flash comes in for door swing. Actually, it's going to be Molly. Zach completely disrespecting the setup right now. And Gumboot's going to find that. Quickly traded, though, by Dad Jorts. He's been an absolute force to be reckoned with in this mid area. Big Daddy A actually opting to rotate into mid this round. This is an adjustment. We really haven't seen Big Daddy A rotate into mid yet, and he's actually having second guesses about that rotation going back to B now. Tristan still has a smoke to smoke Molly house that'll stall the default out a little bit more. But there's still a minute left, and there's only 1 flashbang on this IUPUI side. This is where I think a lot of professional teams would just start taking gambles and hoping to stack a bomb site correctly. It doesn't look like IUPUI is all that interested at that in this moment, and this is going to be what looks like a 4-man B split with 3 players entering through the main area. Smoke goes in. Big Daddy going to be calling that out. No utility for the IUPUI side. Rickster with the AWP. This is going to be so hard for Big Daddy to work around. Tristan finds the entry onto Canal. Big Daddy finds it. And Tristan doubles up. He has been so strong for IUPUI. The sub and the new starting player is going off. 3 kills in a very difficult spot. Collects the AWP and moves IUPUI onto 5 rounds to tie the game.
Yeah. No util. Apparently doesn't matter. I feel like it's so hard on a T side, like, to just go like three B main in there like that. Like maybe if the split was like 2-2 or like I don't know. It just always feels like that choke point is really hard as a T, even with you. So
yeah, well, one thing that I've noticed is that Florida's B executes thus far have been Smoke here and Smoke Temple. They haven't made any effort to either smoke close left or deep left, and to me that's a bit puzzling. I really don't like the Glyph smoke. I much prefer Glyph Smalley from Connector. I understand that you can't get that every round, but it really doesn't account for any kind of pillar.
Oh, it's bad though.
They don't actually make a play with it. That flash, yep, it'll allow Tristan to get out. That smoke, this will be interesting, because now Rickster is kind of stuck in. Is Big Daddy A in any position to flash for Tristan? Not really. But Tristan, he's seen this before. He's actually going to pre-aim it perfectly, but he misses his pre-fire, and Rickster just completely punishes that. Smoke goes in from Rickster to create some space, and IUPUI is just content with playing retake at this point. Straylock rotating into Glyphs. This lure smoke has benefited him in some ways as well. Molly onto B main. Not going to stall any immediate efforts, but this is the exact same split that we saw last round. IUPUI prepared more so in numbers this time, however. There's only 1 smoke on this T side. It looks like it's going to be directed. I actually don't even know what this smoke is. Okay, it's a left side close side smoke. This is going to prevent what Big Daddy A did last round, and it'll completely smoke off the opposite. A nade comes in. That's going to do some decent damage and still to push down. Molly's flying in. This is the Glyph Molly I talked about. It's not deep enough, though, to actually affect Straylock's corner. Rickster going to go down to Straylock's M4A4 spray. Collects a second. Big Daddy under a lot of pressure with his AWP. The smoke helping him. Is he going to make this play? I'm surprised he hasn't gone for the wallbang. Gumboot coming in, and Havoc gets no-scoped. He did find EXT, though, into CT spawn. That's kind of a crazy kill, but Big Daddy A, thankfully, will be able to find the no-scope for IUPUI side.
Yeah, and this CT side showing much better on these holds, on these B holds, as Florida kind of just always opting to end at that B bomb site, and most of these takes aren't going well, even with Rickster getting that opening kill on the Tristan and essentially breaking the defense up. Well, Straylock did find one through the smoke mid, but
I've been legitimately shocked that IUPUI has been able to hold back-to-back full B executes with like no utility to stop it, really, particularly in the canal area. Oh, they didn't smoke Moghouse this round.
So Florida was gonna save this round.
Oh my god, amazing entry from Tristan.
Tristan said get fucked, but he's not gonna get to hear that on stream. No, but what I was gonna say, Florida was originally gonna save. 2 people just bought pistols, and then Havoc full bot, and then they decided to full buy this round.
And Havoc's already out of the round.
Yeah, this was originally going to be a save until he full bot, because then Zach forced up a Mac 10 and all the util.
Straylock is in position to make a fast A rotation if EXT can get this call in. The flash comes in. EXT. I would have liked to see a lurk smoke there. That Molly's a bit late. He's trying to get the lurk smoke off now, but yeah, he's just fumbling on that A bomb site right now and goes down. Not aware how exposed he was to that fountain area. Gumboot trying to rotate in. That's a good kill from Straylock. That Molly close did prevent the scaling onto site. Gumboot almost goes down. Straylock will correct that issue. And this is looking like a pretty clean round indeed. 4 alive for IUPUI.
So yeah, that was a silver round if I've ever seen any.
I mean,
EXT.
In all fairness, the Molotov he threw did prevent site scaling and allowed for Straylock to rotate in and kill the.
No, right. Like the molly was good, but then he's trying to throw the smoke, and then on top of that, Florida, their spacing was terrible. They were shooting through each other. No one wanted to scale out wide. They were all just kind of bunched up, even after the molly. No one wanted to push out and get sight.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually wrong. EXT's molly was not the molly that stopped the scaling. It was a different player's molly. EXT's molly was too deep. Well, I just rewatched it on the stream.
Okay.
I just rewatched it on the stream. I just rewatched it on the stream. EXT's molly was too deep. It was a different player's molly. It was a different player's molly. EXT's molly was too deep. Well, I just rewatched it on the stream.
Yeah, just a very silver round there. But regardless, IUPUI is gonna be taking that all day, as 2 guys walk into a main with grenades. I think both of those guys have grenades.
Yeah, it might be like a stack back sight with the nades strategy. Yeah, it is. EXT not going to be afraid, though. That nade will collect a lot of damage. Second nade comes in. 4 health.
Ooh.
I like the play. I like the idea. But EXT was aggressive enough there that he didn't get caught out too bad. At least he was able to collect a kill before the nades came in. No flashes, no smokes. Just going to be a 4-man deagle contact into this A-bomb site. And there are 2 IUPUI Jaguars here to try to prevent this. Sherlock in heaven and EXT on this off angle near Tut. Retreat back to sights. Finds a lot of damage, but no kills there. Now Straylock gonna back up and wait for his team. Positions to catwalk. Bomb getting planted. So they are gonna get a bomb plant with this force buy round. Or with this, I guess it's more of a deco. But other than that, this is gonna be a very clean round. Gumboot collects 4 free kills, pretty much, or 3 free
Someone
kills.
defused the bomb. There we go.
So, I mean, after being down 4-5, IUPUI has strung 4 rounds together here to make it 8-5. And this is looking a lot better than it was.
Most definitely was. A very good CT side here from IUPUI. Florida getting that bomb plant, though. Gonna allow them the full buy with full util. So we'll see another probably late B execute, depending on if IUPUI changes up and they get 18 kills elsewhere. They are IUPUI guys really think that you don't have voice enabled 0. To be fair, though, the Florida guys haven't talked since you voice enabled. Just want to say that. Zach's gonna buy up an op no util. This is the first op for the CT or T side that we've seen today. Gumboot's peeking mid. Early. Almost got one. Falls out though now.
Change it back to voice enable 1. Maybe Florida realized that there's no dead shot. That won't do it again, but
Tristan and Rickster battle in canals continue.
yeah, this is going to be another mid default from Florida. This is the exact same kind of structure we've seen for their mid defaults in the past. They're going to go for this boost, but they are flubbing it bad right now. Gumboot should... Oh, he narrowly escapes the vision there. Straylock might be flashing for Gumboot in here. Yeah, that's going to be the case. Going to be throwing this flashbang for Gumboot to peek. That should blind the op. Yep, shot goes out. No one to kill, though. Gumboot Molly's going to stall this default even further than it already was stalled. They might actually choose to rethink how they're going to attack this round. Still looks like a mid to A split is on the cards. Flash comes in to flash the mid player. Gumboot going to be flashed in response. Can't find a kill, but he did find a lot of damage. That Molly into mid house will stall yet again. Flash coming in. Straylock going to reposition towards the A bomb site. EXT playing so close gets found, and now Straylock has all to do to try to hold this A bomb site. That smoke gives him a little bit of space, and they haven't pinched mid just yet. Straylock finds the spray onto Dad George, but gets traded in this process. Big Daddy aggressively peeks heaven, finds that kill. Tristan rotating in from mid, finds Zach. A little bit caught out. 2 versus 2 now. The B retaker's coming in, and Rickster gets found again. Unexpectedly, Tristan's pace has just caught Florida completely off guard.
I am
Oh, so dude, imagine how mad Tristan would be if you still have voice.
I turned it on for that one.
I know, but just imagine.
I mean, like,
how
legitimately, Tristan just routes out mid, finds Zach, who's not ready, then routes out camera, finds Richter, who's not ready, and then just completely holds W and finds Viffy, who wasn't ready. Like,
Yeah,
the pace was the whole reason he was able to find those kills.
The new sub and potential new candidate for the team going into the playoffs is 17-7 on top right now.
Oh, Gumbo, he's caught up by the pace. We said the pace caught him out, but Straylock actually doubles up with his A1S and finds a deagle headshot onto Viffy.
Straylock insane round. Nice, Alex!
Molly goes into mid, and I mean, the T side are just like... T side just left to pick up the pieces at this point. Tristan aggressive again onto Richter.
Yeah, beat me! Oh my god, settle down, buddy!
You guys should just follow me, like, straight to door.
I don't know what to say. This round is over.
Window. House.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't close enough. My space.
I'll just be fast in the voice enable 0 command. That's what I'll do. That's the play. That's the play. But what is the play for Havoc here? 1 versus 4. All of his opponents on full health.
And he should be walking into a scope here. 3, 2, 1. Later. And that's gonna be the half. 10-5 IUPUI. Mog swing Tristan 18-7. He's showing why they made a move for a late sub.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately, the only round Tristan truly, I think, contributed negatively to his team's chances to win was the round he tried to get aggressive in the mid round to find Rickster in that B connector position. He lost the fight, but like even
around
then,
that Rickster 8?
No.
You talking? Oh no, not
That was
even
a
that
different
round.
round. I mean, that was. I mean, he got entry that round, but it wasn't a true like misplay in my opinion. Like Tristan pushing into Mockhouse there was like an aggressive choice that went poorly. That went out. Other than that, it was like solid A retakes, solid rotations, very good in his position. It's gonna be a fast A play for IUP on this pistol rounds. Havoc once the T side is once again faster than the Heaven Smoke, and Gumboot goes down for it. Meanwhile, Tristan just running at his opponents finds two, but gets traded. Big Daddy A gushes Havoc. There is a flank coming in, so this is going to get very chaotic very fast for the IUPUI side. Big Daddy A finds one to open up the round. The flashbang from his teammate, I think, there just blinds, and he's not able to find the Heaven player. Needs to 1 versus 2 now. He's already made progress on the one player. The early round goosh, but is not good enough to find the 1 versus 2. Havoc finds 3 kills on this pistol round, and it's going to be a decent start to what could be a comeback on their own map pick.
Yep, Gators with a much-needed pistol round win. This was the way IUPUI is playing. This was had a chance of just beating a runaway. But yeah, they had 3 there. Tristan, he runs in, finds 2. I maybe overheats trying to go for that 3rd guy, but we'll see a full buy of Galils here. 2 smokes. Probably see a Moghouse smoke. Actually, I don't know, because Big Daddy A and EXT have the smoke. I don't know if they know it.
I know EXT.
Okay.
EXT knows at the very least Midhouse, but I think he also knows Mog. I know Blake knows Mog as well, I think.
I know Blake knows Mog. But they're gonna just swing the
They're
Mog
just
out.
going to go fast here. Gumboot almost wins that fight, but Rickster, he knows not to reswing that. He backs up to the B-bomb site, but this push is not stopping. Tristan and Big Daddy A are taking the space. Big Daddy A exposed. There are 4 CTs here for Florida. This is certainly going to be a Gator round win unless IUPUI can find these hard entries, and they are currently fighting them 2 versus 2. A smoke on EXT and the bomb. Gonna start this plant. This is almost certainly going to be at the very least a success economically. That's a fantastic nade onto Straylock in that jail position. That smoke kind of splits up the CT push. I like it from EXT. Very creative in this mid round. He's going to use that smoke to find an easy fight onto the Temple player. Now it's just onto Rickster, and this can just be a 1-2-3 swing or just a trade opportunity. Rickster goes down to Straylock, and IUPUI entry onto a bomb site with 4 players with no utility.
Yeah, that was brute force. Just like we're taking the B bomb site. I don't care, and they somehow are able to win that. Florida had four people there, and they just still couldn't win the round.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were discussing to start the game before, we were discussing, like, even low util B splits can find success just because of all the different angles that CTs have to worry about, especially the second T starts scaling out to that pillar. But I did not expect a situation like that to go the way of the T side. CTs do force up here, electing instead. Rickster likely going to be on AWP after these 2 saves. Rest of his team, however, on Deagle and Armor. Zach had an opportunity there to find Tristan. Can't make good on it. Viffy, it looked like he wanted to go through that smoke. Rickster, on the other hand, gets pressured into the B connector. Smokes come in. Not great ones, albeit. Flashes as well. Tristan entries onto Viffy, Dad, Jorts, and Zach trying to find some space Temple, and it is not being given. Everything is currently falling apart for the deco rounds of Florida. Gumboot overheats. Big Daddy A will not make the same mistake. IUPUI double the rounds of Florida right now on Florida's map pick.
Yep, and we'll probably see one more save here. One thing of note for this IUPUI T side, I don't think we'll see Big Daddy A not go into Moghouse. He's made that very clear in both pugs and games. He will just go Moghouse every round. So expect him in that.
Very happy for an upcoming IM default that we'll be instituting. But yeah, Richter, I'm a bit surprised by the Deagle purchase on Richter. I don't know what the economics will play out. Gumboot just spamming the smoke will find one. Richter trying to make a play as well, but Big Daddy A will find that for free, and this is just absolutely clean from the Jaguars. Yeah, that was a big greedy from Tristan.
A little overheat.
Yeah, he deserved that death. I'm not going to lie. He deserved that death. (13 to 6). IUPUI 3 rounds away from taking us to Ancient with a map lead. Although I've watched enough collegiate matches to know that map picks don't mean as much as you'd think.
Well, I've seen teams B rush 8 times on opponent's map pick with no change. So no AWP. I think Richter just didn't buy, and like he was shocked his team bought.
Maybe Richter's just not an opper, and like I just like assumed it because he saved. But I mean, Florida is basically running the same setup IUPUI was to start the CT side here. 2 mid, 2B, 1A. IUPUI running a little bit more of a canal and A focused default. It seemed like Florida's defaults were either, okay, we're going mid to A, so 2 gondola, 3 mid, or we're going B, so 2 canal, 3 B main, or 1 mid, 2 B main, 2 canal. Like IUPUI are just starting this round with the idea of we're gonna take canal and we're gonna go where that leads us. Same thing goes for like gondola and A main. Right now with this B connector control, this is a lot of pressure. The second Big Daddy A throws any piece of, execute utility, there's just no shot that these B players that have already rotated. Strelok throwing this B execute. Here it comes. Richter stuck back glyphs. Dadjord spraying these smokes. It is a full wall of smokes. IUPUI is onto this bomb site. Now, that being said, there's not going to be a whole lot of space in the post plant for these T-side. NXT and Strelok get found through the smoke. Speaking of such little space, Gumboot trying to make a play through glyphs. Will find it, actually. That's a crazy play from Gumboot. He's lucky to still be alive. That won't last long, though. Not Tristan and Big Daddy A. We've seen them have insane retakes, but this looks like a bit too much. Big Daddy A finds one back turned, but instantly gets sprayed through the smoke by Dadjorts. Florida wins that retake through the smoke.
Yeah, they win a much needed round there. Just a full 5-man retake there. That molly by Richter did a lot of damage to the people coming out Molly House. A lot of just A1S. Completely skillful sprays through smokes to get 2 or 3 people. But IUPUI gets a bomb plan down, so they'll have enough money to get a buy here. Big Gumboot electing 2 AWP. No AWP will be picked up on the Florida side, though. And if IUPUI win this round, if IUPUI wins this round, we might be saying GG.
Yeah, and we might see a don't smoke Moghouse call here from Blakers99, also known as Gumboot, to just try to find this player early.
It's definitely not.
I think there might have been a miscomm there. Gumboot posted on Monkhouse regardless. That nade's going to be a bit too far to find any true damage on a Big Daddy A. Meanwhile, 3 players in this A main area for IUPUI. I think this is the first time we've seen this molly, and Florida's reacting to it. They're rotating a player, and that flash is horrifically bad. And that is not going to line any IUPUI player. The second Havoc peeks, almost goes down to the op. Those are great reaction mollies, and we'll see if IUPUI still commits to this A play after that. Oh, the molly forces Havoc into the smoke. He's dying, and the molly's going out HP. The nade! Wow, Havoc just kind of panicking there. Great utility from IUPUI, and the reset has actually come in. IUPUI currently mulling over their options. There is a rotation effort from the B players, but in their rotation, they've panicked and mollied B main, knowing that they could have been caught off guard there. And that's going to waste any kind of prevent utility following entry execute. Gumboot faking back towards A right now. End goal of IUPUI still looks like it's going to be towards B. Sherlock getting a very good place to cut off A rotations, and there's currently only 1 player on this B bomb side, is Richter in this back glyphs position. He threw a lurk smoke for himself to try to create space, assuming an execute coming in. Now it actually will come in. Smoke thrown for Temple. Flash going to be in response from Richter. Pop. It goes. Finds 2. 3 versus 3 now. Almost found through the smoke yet again are the IUPUI T-side post-plant players. Zach, I guarantee you he saw Tristan's shoulder there, but he finds EXT instead. All 3 CT players tagged up. T-side, Gumboot finds the entry onto Temple. Tristan on the off angle finds Zach, And now it's just Viffy 1 versus 2. Needs to find 2 entries. Finds Tristan. Gumboot swinging. Misses the shot. Viffy has a chance here. This is a... Oh, he doesn't have a smoke. He only has 2 flashes. This angle from Gumboot. Man, these are shots Gumboot usually hits. Viffy once again taps. Gumboot misses again, but Viffy has no kit. So IUPUI will be winning the round. Gumboot cannot be feeling great about that performance, but he will be feeling good about 14.
Yeah, IUPUI finds that opening kill on the, and then do an advanced pause there. Florida played that well. Got 2 initially on that take, but I guess strength in numbers and good post plant by both Tristan and Gumboot to at least hit one of the shots. And luckily, the Florida member didn't have a kit. And 14-7. 2 rounds away from stealing their opponent's map pick of Awubis, as Mr. Munn would say. Am I right?
Not going to dignify that with a response.
Yeah, okay.
No AWP for the T side here. Gumboot electing not to even try to get into that weapon. EXC could have bought him one, but after that round, I'm not surprised. Tristan, meanwhile, just mogging the A bomb side entry, and he's going to take that space fast. There's a rotation of Viffy into this bomb site very quickly. Good smoke from Tristan to try to prevent some rotation. That's a good flash from Viffy in response. Viffy has done a good job of preventing any extreme scaling. That Molotov will give a lot of space, though, to the T side to move up. Viffy fighting Big Daddy A on off angles. Big Daddy will win that fight, though. Strelok caught out on the B lurk. I mean, there's still fights going on at B. Meanwhile, the bomb is just being planted. I mean, just complete map control dominance from IUPUI in this anti-eco round. This is going to move the Jaguars to 15. 1 round away from moving us to Ancient. A lot quicker than I think Florida expected after they took the lead in the early stages of this map.
We'll probably see Havoc dropping off to somebody here, if I had to guess. Or I forgot if he's the op for himself. But Big Green up for the CT side. The Big Green tends to have a lot of can do a lot on this map. Anubis is a really good opera map, I felt like, and experience.
They elect to go solo A with their AWP here. I mean, I guess he is just the solo A player. But with with a weapon as pivotal as the AWP, I'm a bit surprised they're not prioritizing other pieces of map control with it. Now, that being said, if he is able to find an entry onto an A main defaulter, it definitely changes how IUPUI will progress through the round. But, I mean, right now, we've just seen so many rounds from IUPUI towards B, and as I say that, Havoc will find the entry on the Gumboot.
Rick sure loves gloves, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty much around. And here comes the entry. IUPUI just completely disrespecting any piece of utility. Big Daddy just going to plant. This is the problem with playing glyphs sometimes. You just kind of allow bomb plants to happen. 2 Molotovs landing back glyphs. And it's just pure chaos. Tristan trying to make a way through the smoke. Zach into connector goes down. Strelok and EXT left with a 2 versus 5. Now 2 versus 4. Strelok works through the smoke, finds 1, runs out of ammo. Now EXT 1 versus 3. Could be a map-winning clutch if he's able to pull it off. I think they know he's jail. He finds the first, almost finds the second, but Rickster with the swing will take him out. And Gator eSports will delay the map win of IUPUI for at least 1 more round.
Yep. IUPUI just taking that B-bomb side for free. But once again, the Gators, though, showing that they're not afraid. They'll just retake B, as they've retaken it twice for a couple of their wins. IUPUI gonna be able to get a bye here. 1 drop on the Strelok. Although if they lose this round, they will be in money hell for a round, and Gators can make this comeback possible. Although Zach forced to an empty 9 here, prioritizing his util.
Yeah. Well, I think what Anubis does very well on on their map designs on their bomb sites is allowing for multiple types of bomb plants to occur. You can have your bomb plant with very little site control. You can have a bomb plant with a lot of site control. On A, that manifests itself with like catwalk and heaven control. On B, that manifests itself mainly with like glyphs control. And it just creates a lot of different interesting permutations on retakes and makes it valuable to organize your executes in different ways depending on what your goal is. Meanwhile, IUPUI organizing an execute towards mid, likely with the goal of splitting towards A. Big Daddy A still on that canal lurk. Meanwhile, the rest of his team lining up this A split. Smoke comes in a bit late. Tristan going to find a little bit of damage. Zach, meanwhile, triples up with the MP9. How has that been allowed? Gumboot gets dinked up as well. Zach with an absolutely fantastic round for the Gators. IUPUI still likely to get a bomb plant, especially now the Big Daddy has found that kill into the Heaven player. And despite Zach's 3K with an MP9, this round is becoming winnable for the Jaguars if they're able to find these next few fights. Gumboot off angle, finds the headshot onto Rickster. How has this happened now? Dad Jorts 1 versus 2, and Big Daddy A hits the headshots. Zach gets a 3K with an MP9 and it's not enough. We go to Ancient.
Yeah, that was a 5v2. Whew.
That should just not be happening. Both the 3K and that 5v2, but IUPUI steal Florida's map pick, and we'll go to Ancient up a map. And with the way IUPUI is playing, Florida better get off to a hot start. This could be over quick, and their playoff chances could be done.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the bright side for Florida, they are going to get to choose which side they started on Ancient. That being said, I think it's another map where really neither side is really all that advantaged. So it's going to be another game of economy control, I think. I mean, one common theme there on that CT side for really both teams to start the halves was a lack of economic control. IUPUI had their economic issues to start their CT half, and Florida really just never got it under control. So something to keep an eye on. If anyone interested in a NCAA men's basketball final update, UConn is already up 22-12 with 8 minutes remaining in the first half.
Rick sure checked the AI Moggers page a minute ago.
MVP of first map, I think, has to be Tristan. Very key rounds, very key multi-frags in particular on both retakes and side holds. I can think of at least one B hold where he was able to find a kill into his original position of B connector and then turn it into a double kill onto the 2 players coming in from B main, making some space for Big Daddy A on the sites as well in the process. The retake on A that really just turned it from what, I mean, it was a 2 versus 4 to a 2 versus 0 within 10 seconds. Very solid game. Very solid first game of the season by Tristan on Anubis. And let's just say constant pugs seem to pay off. So now Florida 1 map away from likely losing a playoff spot. I don't want to say it's 100% likely because you can only inflate your Bukul score. You can never actually decrease it, but I mean, they're already at 90. Florida, honest, both teams might actually still make it on a loss because both of them are going to get such inflated Bukuls from winning this that I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out when this game's over. And I mean, for all I know, they're not even doing tiebreakers by Bukuls this season. They literally don't have it in the rules at all of what the tiebreaker is. Collegiate eSports. We're just waiting on Florida to ready up here.
Oh man, I'll never understand. You have 5 minutes before you even load up into the server, man. I digress. It's like every college team too takes.
I mean, it like legitimately, it It might be them planning out what spots they're playing. Their last Ancient game was on March 5th. Actually, March 9th. They were able to win one of their Ancient games and lose the other. The team they beat was RIT White, which I think is RIT's second team. And they lost to Clemson. So, mixed results, but both of those teams are solid enough that the win is decent and the loss isn't horrible. All right. So, Florida will elect to go for this side. No T side preferences here. Retake kit, I should say, like Ninja kit, purchased by Dad Jorts on this round. IUPUI looking to make a mid to A play, likely with this routing to start. Flash are going to come in. Only one player to contest, and that smoke is going to be just in time. Big Daddy, I think, actually finds the goosh.
Through?
Oh, Viffy, so fast. And they're not going to expect a second player in this donut position. Zach gets traded 1-for-1, though. And now what will the call be? They're actually going to route back to B. I love this play. It's so hard to entry out into A when even just one player is watching. They're going to redirect this attention towards B, where it's much more of an aim duel. Dad Jorts makes another intelligent play, though, by pushing down ramp. This is not going to be an easy spot to clear for the Jaguars, and Big Daddy A. Oh, Dad Jorts doesn't shoot. He's electing to play his cards slowly. Like jiggling around. Dad Jorts finds one. And now it's a 1 versus 2, actually. In the meantime, EXT flanked mid-house and found 2 kills with his USP. EXT goes down. Dad Jorts almost able to hit that flick, but Big Daddy A will shut that down. What's so interesting about that to me is that EXT swapped out his Glock for a USP pretty much at the last second there as they were exiting donuts, and because he was able to scoop that, the USP nets 2 flank kills where the Glock definitely would not have been able to do that at that range.
Yeah, that was a great round for EXT to get 3 there, and IUPUI making a great decision after to take Val when they realized they stacked it to run back. I guess I don't know. Dad Jorts wasn't able because he had to. And just couldn't.
Okay, we're gonna see an interesting fight here. Rickster is gonna get challenged by Big Daddy, but Rickster has mag 7. Oh, Big Daddy actually opts out of it. Probably in reaction to his opponents being on eco or force buy. He doesn't want to try to take this fight that fast. Smart play from Big Daddy A. Straight like though, not as nearly as patient. That mag 7 is gonna find him. Big Daddy A was able to collect Rickster, but goes down in a trade kill. Dad Jorts trying to scoop this AK, but gets found. EXT can't find the kill. EXT got dinked up through the wall on a deagle spray as well. Both players exiting with much less health than they started. 3 players towards B right now for this eco stack. Viffy, the only A player remaining. Gumboot crouching into the angle. Turns away at the last second. That molly will prevent any escape, and Viffy gets traded by Tristan. Zach getting into a corner. The USP. Will it be cleared? It won't be. Gumboot can't even find the kill in time onto the CT player. This is looking a little bit questionable for IUPUI. There's no utility to slow down this retake. Tristan only on Mac 10. He's facing rifled opponents now. Granted, only Dad Jorts has armor. He's on 19 HP. Smoke coming in. Tristan, I think he's missed his lineup. It actually smokes CT, but it won't matter. Havoc finds that 1D onto EXT, and Zach finds the entry onto Tristan. IUPUI will lose against, I mean, at best, you can call it a force buy.
It was
but
only.
It was mainly just the mag 7.
Rickster, yeah. Rickster and Dad Jorts were the only 2 that I bought armor, and something. And Rickster's mag 7 did work. picking up one, and then Jaguars was able to trade him in the double caves. IUPUI aren't able to win that, but they're probably forced back here, and they will. So 1-1, we'll see another force here. Rickster opting to go to the max 7 again in caves. We'll see if it does work again.
Early mid fight from both teams here. Gonna be fast out mid. Zach full blind finds a second. Big Daddy A trying to make things well. Is able to find Zach. Havoc gonna abandon the mid play for now. Biffy smokes off Donut quite early here, expecting the fast Donut play. IUPUI resetting, maybe for some mid-house aggression. Havoc the one to answer that question. Only finds one. Tristan able to trade. Smokes off the B rotation. Maybe a gap in that smoke. Jaguars not going to try to press that for any kind of answers. Rickster on this mag 7. He's in danger of anyone walking, passing, clearing, but Big Daddy A just walks into cave. This is so tense. Both players did not realize just how close they were to each other there. Rickster still not watching that angle. At some point, does he decide to flank cave? IUPUI, they have an open B bomb site right now, but how could they possibly realize? Jaguars coming out, getting a lot of information mid. Now Rickster activates the cave flank. Bomb going down will confirm his fears. They pretty much just went through cave.
Probably gonna run into this guy. Oh,
Rickster. Oh! Tristan no shot there. Max 7. So quick. Big Daddy A now. 30 HP to find 3 kills. Viffy so ready for the swing, and he's going to find the kill. Florida prevents the force buy victory. The bomb plant does go down for IUPUI, but likely going to be forced into a save here on the Jaguars.
yep. We'll probably be on a half by here. Rickster's max 7. Got a big pop to it. Simple. It is IUPUI essentially just gauging the mid play of Florida that round and trying to get an idea for probably when their next default now they know how they'll fight it. Even though they lost their round, there's some information to gain. And Havoc's gonna force op, no head armor.
They have an AFK here or something. Zach has not moved out of spawn. This is gonna be a B rush. Zach is usually a... Oh, they're actually going to go cave here. Rickster going to be the point of attack. The molly that's just going to be disrespected. And EXT entries so hard there. Jaguars flashed off of the initial angle. Jumping out are Jaguars everywhere. Tech9 scaling. Once again, Straylock finds the kill. Tristan traded. There's still an AFK. He actually disconnects. This could be in the Jaguars' favor. Straylock knows the AWP is trained on his exact location. And they're actually going to elect to save this one. IUPUI, they win a round thanks to not only hard Tech9 entries, but also somebody's internet connection.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, was Zach a mid player?
Yeah, he's usually been the mid-house player.
So I think they still take B there, but having the extra guy probably is.
I mean, the first rotation is Zach on that play.
Yeah.
Oh! Wow.
So IUPUI gifted a round they should not win most times, but Zach has came back.
I mean, all things considered, the entries were good. Rickster disrespecting T's timings a bit there by throwing that Molotov. And gets punished for it immediately. Great entries by EXT. And I've got to say, great entry pathing by pretty much the entire IUPUI side there. Many players jumping out, moving the crosshairs. Good flashes as well to get the players out cave to flash off the lane player. All around a very well executed rush. Very quick scaling onto window here. Big Daddy not ready for so many people to fight him at once. Straylock is good for the trade, but the wallbang from Rickster through caves actually finds Straylock. It's been a while since I've seen that find kills. Gunboot trying to force the CTs out of Jaguar, and it's just not working. Rickster just now backing up to site. No one mid for this Florida side, but this is the second time now we've seen Donut be smoked from the inside of A. You really don't see this very often. You usually see the Donut player kind of use the smoke to smoke off the mid area before the T's in this case get into the Donut itself. I mean, the CTs look very content here to play retake towards B. and to play for this mid to A setup. Right now it's the right call, but with 40 seconds left, there's a lot of deliberation to be made. CT's trained on both sides here. That smoke will create a little bit of space. Gumboot cannot disrespect this Molotov. He has to just run through, and he's going to go down. EXT and Tristan there. Requires Tristan to find the trade. Havoc on the AWP misses the initial shot. Tristan not ready for that second CT player to be so fast. And Florida will take the lead here, 3-2.
Yeah, being a Richter again in caves, kind of being a menace in the caves some way or another, and yeah, really, Tristan made it close, but really not around that IUPUI was gonna win. Florida played that really well. All their setups and economy is weird on the IUPUI side. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, this
Hero
looks like a
AK.
typical Big Daddy A force down. I guess this is just going to be another B play. This Molotov is going to be not useful because they're just going to run it up ramp this time. Switching up their B rushes are the Jaguars, and it is working again. Big Daddy A finds the entry onto Richter. This bomb plant is inevitable, but will the post plant be? Big Daddy A finds the entry onto Jaguar. Meanwhile, Dad George trades Straylock through the smoke. I've seen that one before on Anubis. Smoke being thrown for lane. Flash for slant actually blinds Gumboot. The CT retake seems to be in play here. Tristan swinging on slant will find that kill. Trades being attempted but not being found. Tristan finally will go down, and there's a lane push. That is a free kill for Big Daddy A. And once again, IUPUI is winning on these B rushes.
These B rushes are being fruitful. This time at least, though, Zach at least dies before his internet cuts out as IUPUI pauses because of stutters. So we have two people restarting their games. Big Daddy A is gonna roast his team. All good nation though. Yeah, but those B rushes are being very fruitful for this IUPUI team. Very.
Now we got a national championship score update here. Almost halftime. UConn up 14 now, 36-22.
All right.
As expected. I really should just pick them to win.
Yeah, you're kind of bad for that one, and people should make fun of you.
Yeah, I mean, I picked UConn to get second place, and they're about to get first.
Who'd you pick for first place? Who'd you pick for first place? Want to tell everyone?
A certain boiler-making university.
Oh, they probably went far though, at least, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
they probably went far.
Really far. I mean, they made history, so you can't take that away from them.
Well, but like their history, they weren't even the first to make history, though. You know.
I mean, they were the first to make history, and this bad. Anyway, Big Daddy A has acquired an AWP. Nade stack is going to be somewhere. Florida looks like it's going to be mid, and Big Daddy A is headed right towards that. But will he be out far enough for the nades to actually do damage? The answer is no. Zach going to be taken out. In come the returning nades, and they're not going to be doing any damage either. So IUPUI avoids the nade stack trap, and will likely go on to win this round pretty cleanly, all things considered. Just now taking mid are the Jaguars. Smoke for mid-house, flash for mid-house. That smoke's a bit deep. Yeah. I don't think it'll actually result in any kind of grub plays. There is a player back donut. Gotta get cleared. Richter goes down in mid-house, and this is going to be a pretty clean round for IUPUI. Viffy actually has been quite a bright spot. I mean, it's really just been the B defense for Florida thus far that's been costing them. I mean, that's the third round that has either been lost at B or lost because they had to save after a B rush.
Oh yeah. IUPUI making quick work on that eco, and we'll get back into another die round.
AWP bought up by Havoc, who's been the mid player. No mid smoke for the Jaguars here. Pretty standard mid take here. Flash follows the smoke and Molotov, and mid control under complete control of Florida. You saw a lot of this style of mid take back before the T-Side actually had decent timing. Straylock, oh, there has to be a timing here where Straylock is, well, he didn't clear elbow, but now these shots ringing out have to alert. Yeah, here comes Straylock, about to swing window, and he will find that kill for free. Zach not ready for that possibility. I'm a bit surprised about how much Zach ignored that possibility. But regardless, B execute seems to be primed for IUPUI. A lot of great positions for the Jaguars. Big Daddy boosted up, will punish any slant swing, any lazy slant swing, I'll say. Oh, spotted out, no shot fired either way. Gumboot scaling out of the bomb site, finds Jaguars despite the massive disadvantage. Jaguars is not going to be happy about that one. Gap in the lane spell, Gumboot trades out as well. And now, I mean, you probably are just saving again if you're Florida, and indeed Havoc starts the route away. IUPUI is finding so much success on this B bomb site, and I mean, you see a lot of professional teams these days find ways to cheat 3 players onto this B bomb site. We've yet to see that from Florida. Every time IUPUI has hit this B bomb site, there's been only 2 players.
Yeah, they have found the weak point of Florida, and until Florida adjusts, IUPUI probably gonna keep ending at this B bomb site. I don't see any reason not to.
Hunt is on. Seems reasonable to say that it could be found. That's a fantastic flashbang. Viffy has to get off of the angle. Initial kill found. EXT flashed by Gumboots. Havoc still alive. And they will retain the AWP, but they did lose the M41S. This is where Florida would love to have this AWP be a round-changing save, because being down 3-6 is not a good place to be. Looks like they're going to take a pause here to try to figure this out. I mean, it really does feel like Big Daddy A just knows how to win on this map. Every single time we've watched him play Ancient, he's just popped off, and already after 8 rounds is on 10 kills.
Ancient is his playground.
Oh wait, I didn't even notice this, but those 2 kills for Gumboot were his first 2.
Really?
Yeah. He was 0-6 before that. I mean, those were not easy kills either. I mean, the first one in particular, Jaguars was fully just spraying him before Gumboot even reacted, and quick flick headshot, and also a quick headshot on the trade for Straylock. This is going to be a fast A play from IUPUI. Probably expecting the save. This is a hard round to win as a saving team unless you full stack, and there is just no one here to stop this push. Havoc, if he's lucky, will get to CT in time to try to fight this, but that smoke lands, and despite the gap on the left, there's not going to be a contest there. Havoc not ready for the sheer speed of IUPUI's execute, goes down and loses the AWP. AC trying to take the space to prevent the scaling of, or sorry, the reacquisition of the AWP, but Jaguars is going to escape with his life, and the expensive sniper rifle. That's going to be saved, and the rest are probably going to be tasked with trying to find some exits, which is not going well right now for Florida. EXT going to try to make the chase happen, and Jaguars is just so far away already that it seems unlikely that ITO will be able to prevent this save. I'll have probably 20 seconds to make this chase, and it's all going to be from the V side. Jaguars can't know that. There should be at least one fight here from Straylock. Flash is going to alert Jaguars to the possibility of the route. Here it comes. Jaguars is still not looking. Flicks in time, and Straylock goes down. Op saved yet again.
That op is keeps being saved, but IUPUI doesn't really care, in all honesty. So they have a good chance of just running away with this half and potentially the series.
Yeah, I mean, to start out this game, we had close rounds. Since then, it really does feel like IUPUI has been in control, at the very least in the default. Quick mid-scale from Rickster. Not going to be disrespected this time. Probably didn't have the spawns. Gumboot, I think exclusively with utilities under 28 HP. That's a good Molotov from Straylock. Rickster not going to be affected. Florida does pivot to a 3B setup here. They have Havoc, who's usually been the mid-house player, scoped in on ramp to allow the other two site defenders some space towards cave. Meanwhile, Zach about to make contact with EXT and Donut. Doesn't expect how close he is, and the adjustment isn't fast enough. Actually, he does find EXT, but Big Daddy A will get the trade. Once again, Viffy throws this Donut smoke. I don't think it's landed. Well, yep, Tristan going to punish that miss. And the A bomb site is lost in the process. Once again, IUPUI getting onto bomb sites fairly cleanly, all things considered. EXT's lurk was just so fast that Zach just didn't expect it. The adjustment was there, but not fast enough to escape the AWP of Big Daddy A. And now, I mean, what do you do? Gumboot spotted out. Nice headshot by Rickster. Quickly dispatched of. And now, do you consider the retake? That smoke is going to be so hard to go through. Dinks up Strelok through it. Strelok is having really poor luck through the smoke this series. But I don't think it's going to matter. Big Daddy A prevents any aggression from Havoc, and that's going to be an AWP dropped. Save coming in from the following players. Sherlock is mega dead to this bomb. Like, absolutely deceased. There's no way he lives. Well, we'll never find out because he gets shot beforehand. But, yeah, I mean, Rickster took 31 damage, and he was farther away, so. And both other T-side players died for IUPUI. So no one survives that round, including Big Daddy A's AWP. 7-3. This is quite a lead for IUPUI after 11 rounds. I mean, just when Florida makes the adjustment to put 3B, IUPUI hits A 2 times in a row. They're going to stick with this 3B setup. Ollie comes in to prevent any aggression. Boost follows for the AWP. Gumboot, he is disrespecting these B-side players right now. Havoc with the AWP. This is not going to be easy for Gumboot, but he's made it past the line of sight. And Dadjorts is not ready. Havoc with the AWP can't trade either. Rickster is the only player that hasn't been spotted. EXT going through the smoke, not ready for the angle Rickster's on. Tristan going to try to attempt a trade. But how fast does he make his move? That's important. Now making it. Finds a back turn, but Zach finds Tristan's back turn.
Did he just have like
Big Daddy A
time?
finds the kill onto Viffy, and now it's a 2 versus 3. The smoke comes in from Gumboot, and now this retake is impossible. IUPUI gonna collect an 8th round. I mean, you heard the Florida players talking about how Gumboot basically slipped the net there and got up ramp.
Yeah, and it's just all IUPUI. They're finding these timings. Any like miscue in the slightest, whether it's smoke as a gap or something, you guys been able to exploit in some way. It's just
Yeah,
all
honestly,
Jaguars.
I'm a bit surprised that Havoc in particular was confused as to how Gumboot got up ramp, because Havoc should be the one that sees that as the upper lane, not Dadjorts. I guess that far was the biggest surprise, but I would have expected Dadjorts to be more confused than Havoc there. Quick mid post from Big Daddy A. Utility use. No one crosses that line. Rickster once again aggressive into caves. This time will lose the fight. Gumboot finds the entry. And what will the rotation be? It looks like Zach already making his way towards B. Havoc, nice shot onto Tristan. Not traded yet. So that's one back for the Florida side. That's a fantastic nade by Big Daddy A. Lands at Zach's feet. Knocked him down to 44. Dadjorts, lone B-side player, about to be faced with some contact in caves. Oh, Gumboot just gets off the angle. Dadjorts, once again, this game of timing has really had 3 phases now where both players have jiggled in and out of their positions. Dadjorts inching his way back into the angle, backs out of it again. Smoke comes in for ramp. That is not going to be... I'm going to have to take a look at that after, but... Meanwhile, Havoc getting pressured into Donut. Molly will collect that kill, and now Viffy deploys a smoke. Dadjorts gets entry on B, another bomb, headed back towards that bomb site. Gumboot resetting towards ramp. Wouldn't be surprised to see IUPUI use some kind of lane or slant smoke here. Zach not in any position to contest the bomb plant at all. Gonna lurk through this lane smoke. Finds Gumboot with a nade out. And exits back where he came. Makes it a bit easier, but this is still a 2 versus 3. And this is a round Florida desperately needs. Staring 3-9 in the face, Zach finds a headshot onto Straylock. Both retake players in caves. This bomb is very wall bangable, and with Zach on such low HP, I would not be surprised to see that net a kill. Kid is on Viffy as well, and he takes the swing, goes down. The bomb was not stuck. Zach finds one, knows where the second is, but Big Daddy A is too fast. Hits the no-scope. IUPUI up 9-3.
Yeah, IUPUI was able to find space there, and each time they got a kill, they would pull someone on in rotation and able to trade that or peek out. But Florida made it close, lurking through the smoke there, got 2. I mean, that was a very winnable retake. Big Daddy 8, not to scope, and no scope favors him in that situation. So we go to round 13, and round 14 is really has not been close since those opening 6-7 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, IUPUI's default right now is pretty much just put some pressure on caves early. If you're not taking it, take it, on relay. The same thing can be true for mid. Big Daddy A has basically, prevented any kind of aggression past the op vision, as Blakers 99 will go down to Rickster. Straylock, that molly did not go nearly as deep as he wanted it to, I'm sure. That smoke gives a lot of space, actually. Dad George takes quite a bit of damage to that nade. The double Jaguar setup will prevent any greedy entries from IUPUI. That's an interesting gap in the smoke, and Straylock finds a kill with it. Will he disrespect it? He's going through. What? How has he found Richter like that? How has he done that? Meanwhile, up on the bomb side, Havoc goes down to Tristan. Zach finds a consolation kill. But I mean, how do you even react to that if you're Florida? Apparently by fragging Tristan. Straylock on slant. He's feeling hot, and he gets the shot. Big Daddy A misses his. Zach given an opportunity, but he's going to be forced to go through the smoke after finding Big Daddy A. Straylock going to smoke caves in response. Zach going to fully disrespect once again, and Straylock 4 Ks on the round. An incredible find for him. What a shot.
Oh my god, when it's going your team's way, it's going your team's way. I suggest to Straylock to invest in some lottery tickets. He has cashed in some tokens for that one. Jumping 180 on the Rickster there. Rickster had the type in chat. He was flabbergasted by that as well. As such a late buy out of the spawn.
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
Florida is they don't know what to do.
I think they're either tilted or lost, or both.
Unreal.
IUPUI very quickly scaling into caves yet again. Straylock pre-firing a bit there, not able to find, but the site has been just taken. While I was looking at this cave's default, Gumboot made a play onto the bomb site. Tristan as well gets knocked down to 30 HP. Player in Havoc with a scout finds the headshot onto Tristan. It's a good start for Florida. The late buy working out. This guy's M4A1S name is Anthony Richardson. I'm sure he'll be a Colts fan next season.
Not a Lions fan.
Oh. Sure.
All right, 1v4. It's got the big green. Anytime. So Gator stopped the bleeding after a round they probably would have stopped the bleeding earlier. Late by, and then IUPUI just tried to disrespect them. Last round of the half. Shockingly, IUPUI's money is really bad. I mean, well, actually not shockingly. They barely have actually won.
I mean, 3 of the last 4 rounds, they've lost 4 or 5 players. So
yeah. So for once, the T economy not looking good after.
They're just B rushing, right? I mean, they had so much success on low buy B rushes early. Yep, they're gonna go for the B rush. Now that being said, Florida pivots out of their 3B stars for this round. IUPUI gets exactly what they wanted. That Molotov didn't land in a very... Dad George just missed that lineup entirely. This is not looking good for Florida right now. They need the kills. Dad George finds one, can't find the second. Rickster goes through the smoke cave, finds nothing. He looks lost exiting that smoke. EXT, aim hack, triggers a bit there. And will be punished.
You know, 1Ks.
So many re-smokes for IUPUI. This is the privilege you get if you take the bomb height with only 2 smokes and no default. You can just continue to re-smoke the choke points you originally smoked on the push. Havoc goes down, and Viffy just sprayed through the smoke. Big Daddy A's instincts there. 3 Ks on the round, and 18-7 for Big Daddy A, leading the way for his team. Like, everyone else is negative. In a half where you win 11-4, there are 4 negative players on your team. It just shows how close the rounds have been and how dominant Big Daddy A has been as well.
Yeah, this has been a moggening. IUPUI 5 runs away from a playoff berth. Florida 5 runs away from.
This is a B rush. Wait, actually gonna slow it down and take cave. This is gonna be a fight up into the mid window area. Straylock jiggling these angles. EXT finds a nice headshot on Zach. Fight's going every which way. Big Daddy taking this distraction to run down ramp. Gumboot gets 3 kills with the dual Brettas. Actually stealing Big Daddy's kill there at the end. What a round from Gumboot.
Woof.
Yeah, that's not good for the comeback, we'll say. So,
W was down 13-4 and came back.
What do you even do here if you're Florida? I mean, you have to just full save this.
Richter, 3K elo tilt bot.
They just,
oh, wait.
2 of their players tilt bot, and now they're trying to pick up the pieces, but Jaguars didn't even bother to go back and buy. This is a tilted Florida Gators lineup right now. I mean, with decisions like these, you really just have to expect IUPUI to close this out. Gumboot taking some fights here, tags up Havoc, and without the head armor, Havoc in danger of just instantly losing the fight by taking a body shot. Meanwhile, IUPUI seems fully prepared to handle an A play here through A main. It's rare you see 2 players just on the A bomb side on Ancient in the mid round, but here we are. Gumboot's space taken mid allows for this setup, and Zach creeping out. Gonna boost someone maybe. Both players on the CT defense. Gonna hear that jump up. EXT not aware of the boost, I don't believe. But Strelak has just been made aware by the bullets entering his back. EXT now seeing 3 players on his screen that he was not expecting, and this slow creep has netted Florida at the very least a bomb site. Can they find Gumboot and Donut is another question entirely. Thus far they have not, because Tristan came in and saved. Meanwhile, Tristan finds 2 kills, and he is the savior for IUPUI. Finds Rickstar on an instant headshot. What looks so ugly there has been saved by Tristan's B rotation.
And he chooses the teabag instead of grab the A1S. Interesting to play there, but regardless, IUPUI almost lose that round. EXT not even like at all jiggling for information.
Well, he's just expecting Straylock to see basically what those players were doing, and Straylock made a rotation in response to information and got caught out for it. And EXT at that point it was too late to kind of make that space happen. This Lord Smoke is strong for Gumboot. He finds 1. Straylock jumps through it and finds 2. Zach has an opportunity to find this fight onto Gumboot. Both players tag down, but Big Daddy A with the XM shotgun collects 2 kills, $1,800 into his bank account, and IUPUI into 14.
2 rounds away, IUPUI are ending the Florida's career, or Florida season, sorry.
The more I think about it, the more I think Florida will likely make it into playoffs on a very low seed, but entering playoffs on a low seed in Collegiate is basically a death sentence without prize money, so. I have mid-flash lineups here. Worked quite well. Mid-taken. Zach fully into close mid-house, and Sherlock, he is ready for any aggressive play. Zach gonna take the time. Sherlock was reloading to make a push play here. Meanwhile, Big Daddy with the XM, not able to find Rickster. Only able to do some tag damage. Gumboot, not ready for that. Zach has made a lot of space here in preventing rotations. EXT finds the fight and will find the kill. Tristan trying to make a re-aggression into Jaguar. Gets taken out for it. 2 versus 4 now, and Strelak, the last line of defense on this B bomb site. EXT rotating in with such low HP. The bomb is actually now headed to the A bomb site for Florida. And I would not be surprised to see IUPUI elect to save once they hear that bomb go down today. Sherlock gets himself into slants. Almost finds himself headshot. Will get away. Facing match points. Florida will prevent it. And IUPUI looks very content to save here.
Yep. Florida Rick's able to find Big Daddy early, find the re-aggression. Colder rotates from A with Zach getting so much mid control and then just going back to execute onto the A bomb site for free. A much needed round win. If you want any shot of coming back, EXT spotted out.
Yeah, this is not going to be an easy save. Jaguars looking to make some pressure into the B main area. He finds the first kill. Sherlock now in the corner. Lucky to be alive. Jaguars a bit hesitant there to take that wide swing. But Florida will find 5. Finding 15 is a whole nother story. And one that will require quite a comeback. This is a good place to start, though. If you are able to win this gun round, IUPUI will start to struggle economically. Now, the big question is, if you treat your cave default like you treated it last round, I'm pretty sure Big Daddy is going to find an op kill. That will remain to be seen here. Zach almost gets found through the smoke. Big Daddy about to be pressured. Op shot hits, but not enough to do a kill. Zach will find Gumboot aggressing in Donuts. Wallbang on Richter. Big Daddy actually has no armor. That wallbang could have done some significant damage. Resmoke from mid-house comes in. Not a great smoke, but Zach monitoring the situation. Straylock going to try to resmoke A main. Will Viffy disrespect this in time? Decides not to. Straylock takes that space, collects a lot of information towards A main and towards Donuts. The bomb is located outside A main for Florida, so Havoc's entry might spur this team into action. Straylock close A main, playing around this smoke, going to find 2 T-side players approaching very quickly. Gets found by Viffy. Great headshot there, and some signs of life from Florida here. I would not be surprised to see Big Daddy try to save this if they can't find some early kills. Oh, I don't know if Big Daddy was able to catch a glimpse there. That was very close. If the T side of Florida is content to stay and not aggressive post plans, I think IUPUI is going to be very content to save. Tristan, though, walking up, does find Dad Jorts. What else can Tristan find? He finds some information. There is no kit on this IUPUI side, and Viffy, that's a very quick collection on the Tristan. Off immediately, he runs to save.
He was saving regardless of what Tristan was doing. Tristan was trying to beat him. Andy was already going to the B-bomb site, so there is no intent for Big Daddy A to try to win that round. But once again, Gator's doing a good job of getting mid control.
Wow, he's still no scopes.
He's still no scopes. Yeah, they're getting mid control, and they're doing the most with it. Taking mid and then pausing and then executing a site on the re-aggressions of IUPUI, just holding it. And Florida strings rounds together. So we'll see a hero up here. Rest are probably saving, even though Big Daddy bought full everything. They're still gonna save.
Yeah, and I mean, it really does seem like A is the bomb site that kind of have been the choice for anti-ecos these days. Now, it wasn't a fast A, which will allow the information that IUPUI has just garnered from this B push to have a little bit of an impact in this round. Will it be enough to win is another story entirely. I think their CT smoke missed, and it is... if he just missed his attempt at a CT smoke in the exact same way. All 5 players for the IUPUI Jaguars are Donut. Big Daddy A, very apprehensive to commit himself to anything more than pick plays. Which, I mean, they might get some opportunities at. These are going to be, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a round win for Florida. If they lose more than just Rickster at this point, it's going to be a disappointment for them, I'm sure. But the bomb on this bomb site, this radius is insane. Viffy is going to die. Like 100%. Yeah. Zach almost died himself. So, 2 kills on the save, and the AWP lives despite being wallbanged there at the end.
Hey, 14-7. Would love to see this these two teams playing football and see if the score would be like the. But we are playing CS:GO. Florida needs to find a sign of life, and they are starting to find some footings in these rounds.
Havoc knows the out of spawn lineups for this mid smoke, and it's definitely helped Florida in that they've been getting mid control for free. This round they're not going to use their mid control play, they're actually just going to go fast A. There are a fast rotation from Australia, like he's going to try to get to Donut in time, but he's just getting caught out. The A rush is so fast, and EXT gets found as well. So fast I can't even switch to him in time. Florida is rolling on this T side right now. A execute after A execute is going the way of the Gators. Gumboot trying to pick up the pieces. Viffy on an off angle, and Cave is likely to prevent that. Indeed. Quick kill there. Tristan still wants to go for this. No kit on either player, and Big Daddy A's saving yet again. And this is where the T side is going to realize what's happening. They're going to chase this, and that's why Big Daddy A's posted so aggressively. He knows that running away is not going to be the answer here. I wonder if he's able to use his molly. Zach is already in the cave. There's no way Big Daddy A can expect this. This pillar is likely to be his final resting place, as there are multiple T's flying in at every angle. They've actually run past him. They've run past him. They've run past him. He's gonna save the AWP. There is no shot. Please. Oh my God, he saved it. What?
Well, the only thing getting through these rounds is Big Daddy's op. They gotta figure something out, whether it's get someone B or something, or A. If EXT is just getting run down every round, he might need some support here soon. But this round, they're gonna go back to more of a B-centric default, which is in the Big Daddy's hands.
Yeah, the sound of the USP firing off mid will likely alert Florida to what they already know. B is clear. Big Daddy A is able to survive. This might be finally the round that Big Daddy A loses the AWP. That nade will be collecting. And this round is over. Tristan with a 5-7 and a dream will likely be squashed very shortly. Smoke fades on lane. Biffy swings. Finds the information. Not the kill. The wallbang will find the kill though. Only a 5-round difference now. Florida has started to make this climb 5 rounds in a row here for the Gators. And this is where, if you're IUPUI, you start to think about how this comeback is progressing, how you want to stop it, and then the pressure rises every round you don't.
Yeah, for sure. This has definitely been a very good string of rounds for Florida, and they are making this comeback look more and more possible.
Smoke misses from mid there, I think, unless the thing just bugged. No, it just bugged. The perspective just bugged there. Early smoke to prevent donut scaling by IUPUI, but I mean, once again, you're just seeing IUPUI content with giving mid control. There's really no attempt even at like multi-nading it or multi-spraying it. It's really just been give mid house, play around that. And for the start of this game, it was working. Since it's been more difficult, I mean, there's just no respect here for this mid-house play, but Gumboot through the smoke finds Zach. Maybe a bit of a too eager to get into that mid-house, but they are not hesitating at all to get into CT spawn, and EXT just gets shot in the back. Not ready for how fast that play was. Gumboot and Big Daddy understand the necessity to start this retake. They just go through that smoke. Feel like now found by Dad Jorts. He was, I think, a lot more concerned about mid than he needed to be, but he had no way to know that. Tristan on the flank will find one, but this is a 2 versus 4 that we've seen many times. This time it's actually going the way of the Jaguars. 2 versus 2 now. Florida needs this. Viffy starts it off now. Big Daddy, he's been so good this map. Can he really win this 1 versus 2 though? There's no kit. Flash goes out. Viffy making some space, and he is on one right now. 2 instant headshots to collect that 2 versus 2. And IUPUI, they are struggling on the CT side right now.
Yeah, they are. I guess, I mean, Florida's found a weak point, and they're able to either split A or been taking A most of these T rounds, so they'll have to maybe switch something up on that A side.
Yeah, it seemed like there was some kind of lapse of communication there as to how, like, where the mid players could be, because EXT just is completely oblivious of the possibility of him getting flanked into CT spawn, even like 5 to 10 seconds after Gumboot has gotten the kill and seen multiple players entry. I mean, we saw a mistake there from Florida. They threw the mid to A smoke and peeked before it landed, allowing Gumboot to find that kill. but it didn't matter at the end of the day. There was no adjustment from the CT side on that information. I mean, IUPUI, they're on to a half by here. We're likely to see 11-14, and this is looking increasingly winnable for Florida after it looked so bad on the first half. And when we saw like trademark tilt out of Florida, where it's, you know, last second buys, missed buys. But here we are. IUPUI, they're now looking to make some desperate plays. Gumboot at fast A main is able to go 1 for 1 with a 50. Big Daddy with a Mag 7. He can make a play here, but he can't do it. The Mag 7 not good enough. In EXT now with a Deagle and a Dream. 4 players approaching this B-bomb site. Rotation's nowhere in sight. Tries to make some movements on slant here. Jaguars in a fraggable position. The Deke spam's good enough to knock him down low. Pressure on the backside from Straylock. Pressure and cave from Gumboot, or sorry, from Tristan is going to be negated as fast as it came. Straylock going through the smoke is able to find Jaguars on low HP, but trade is good for Havoc. EXT collects Zach. Can't find Havoc. A good round from him. 3 kills, and IUPUI indeed. Only 3 rounds separate the teams. I mean, what was this game? This game was 14-4, was it not?
Yeah, it was 14-4.
Wow.
Yeah, no, 14-4. And now we're at 14-11. Big Daddy 8. Buying op, no util.
I mean, that's not a great start for Big Daddy either out of spawn. He's been blocked twice now. His timing into cave is not going to be fantastic. Thankfully for him, the timing for the T side is not good either. Meanwhile,
they're eating mid-play.
This is the first time we've seen IUPUI really deploy this fast mid default, and it works so well for them. They find 2 opening kills, and is that what is finally going to stop the Florida momentum? Big Daddy A finds the off kill on a Jaguars, and what was so quickly gaining steam has just been so quickly destroyed by the utility of the IUPUI mid take. What an unexpected way to just turn the game around. Nades and Molotovs instead of guns, but they'll take that. Boost up for Viffy, gonna find a duel on a Tristan. Can't find the kill though.
The boost should alert that both of them are there. But
Havoc punishes that flank. I mean, I love EXT's spot here, because this is not an easy spot to clear on your rotation. But will that even be a factor is another question entirely. 58 seconds left. Florida has so much time that they can just, like, legitimately just pause and wait for IUPUI to make adjustments. Doesn't look like IUPUI is all that interested. And that smoke is not going to bait any... Well, actually, Big Daddy is rotating... Because of that smoke, even though he has a mid player, yeah, okay, he's going to adjust now. I think that was certainly a misplay, but it's not going to be punished. The timing's not good enough. Big Daddy A, this is, oh, he's actually been passed. Into the corner is Viffy. Tristan on Cubby. This Pillar Molotov is going to give havoc to this. It's only 21 seconds, though. Flashbang coming in. Big Daddy misses the shot, and we'll get flashed off in the spot. Tristan and Cubby gonna find the kill. Havoc trying to just find anything. 13 seconds left. Big Daddy A walking up, trying to take the fight in conjunction with Tristan. He'll win the fight. No scope as well. 2 kills for Big Daddy A in the round. 3 kills for Tristan. 15-11.
yeah, absolute moggening of utility, and then, you know, Florida almost was able to bring that one back. Made it a 3v2. With so much, because there's so much time after their initial push got faltered, but IUPUI finally on match point, and now we're 1 round away from ending this.
Yep. Nothing much changed in Florida's default. Still going to go of 2 towards B, 2 towards mid, with the mid flashes coming in from T-spawn. Jaguar pressure from IUPUI here. Big Daddy finds the shot into Jaguars. This is what he's been looking for all game with the AWP. Finally comes into fruition here in round 27. And now, if you're Florida, I think almost every single round that Florida's won has really been predicated upon finding entries. And right now, they are not finding them. Rickster desperately going through a smoke. This is looking like it might be curtains for the Florida Gators. They showed some life here on this T side, winning 10 rounds in a row. Or sorry, 7 rounds in a row. They couldn't extend that to tie the game. And now it's looking quite desperate. Straylock, EXT on this A-bomb site. Likely to be the defenders. Without utility. CT smoke now coming in. Straylock Alerting EXT for some help. Flashes. Gonna be a bit early, but it doesn't matter. Biffy will go down. The Molly default's gonna force Straylock down to 4 HP. But with 2 versus 5, Zach now in a 1 versus 5. That is gonna be the game. IUPUI gonna win 2-0, moving on to a 6-2 record in FACEIT Spring Collegiate to end the regular season. Big Daddy A, 28-12 plus 16 KD on the game. The rest of his team, I wouldn't say struggling, but definitely behind quite a bit. The T side of Florida put up a little bit of a fight there, but the CT side that they had was just so disastrous that they could not recover fully. So we'll do a little bit of a summary here as to where each team now stands in the standings. There should be also a lot of information as to how the final games of the season are progressing or have already finished as well. So we'll take a look there. UConn only up by 11 now. I think it was like 16 at one point. I'll refresh this page real fast. All right. So Drexel does end on 8-0. There's only one 7-1 team as Northwood probably beat Purdue. Or Drexel or Northwood beat Purdue in this final week. IUPUI sitting at the 6th seed. So they do finish above Virginia. Final Buchel score of 102. Doesn't look like there's any ties there. So they're going to have an exclusive 6th seed. Did Texas A&M finish their game? They did. Texas A&M won, which eliminated Arkansas from the playoffs entirely. Unless, Arkansas might get in on the 16th seed because of Davenport not counting as a team here. Has Kansas State played their game? But they still haven't. They don't even have a game scheduled. They got schedule screwed because of the Davenport situation. There's no one to play them. So they're going to end 4-3 and they won't make playoffs. They won't even have a chance to make playoffs. I think that their Buchels is definitely good enough to make playoffs.
Wow.
What's their Buchels at? 105? Kansas State with a Buchels of 105 is never going to get a chance to play for 5-3 and they're not going to make playoffs? That is actually a disastrous tragedy for Kansas State. Oh my God. This team is 105? If they win their game, they're going to be at like 120 minimum. What is the best 5-3 team? 126? They were probably going to be, that's Davenport. They were probably going to be the 10 seed. If they had just gotten a chance to play their last game. What the heck? That is actually so sad for Kansas State. Regardless, as it stands right now, IUPUI round 1 would be playing Michigan State, I believe. Because, yeah, the 6 seed plays the 11 seed. And then if they were to win that, they would be playing, I believe,
Purdue?
I think they'll play RIT. If RIT D1 wins. They'll be seeded to play into RIT. So if the playoff standings don't change and if their tiebreakers are as stated on this website, let's see if there's any ties here actually. Doesn't look like there's any ties of the high seeds right now. Actually, UVA and CMU are tied at 99, but that won't impact IUPUI's matchups. At least it shouldn't. So yeah. Oh wait, no, MSU is going to get moved to the 10 seed because Davenport's not here. So they'll play CSM, actually. IUPUI, as currently stated in the seedings, if these are correct, and final, they will play CSM in the round 1 of playoffs because Davenport's disqualified. This will move CSM up to the 11 seed. Man, that sucks for K-State, dude. I'd be so mad. I would be yelling at the TOs until they let me in playoffs. So we'll see here. CSM. This is a best of 3 win here. NC State, that's not a fantastic win. Arkansas, they lost to, yeah, okay. IUPUI should not be losing to CSM, so we're likely to see IUPUI match up against, who did I say it was? RIT, D1, in the second round of playoffs, as is currently seeded if nothing changes. So let me look up real fast when playoffs start in the rulebook. and we'll have a good idea as to when these matches will take place. So playoff round of 16 is this weekend. I would assume that there'll be some exceptions because of Easter, maybe. I mean, if it's defaulted to Saturday, then it won't. But you should be able to look forward to the playoffs taking place sometime on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know how much rescheduling is allowed in these first 2 rounds. I know that in semis and the finals they're not rescheduled at all. But these first 2 rounds, they might be restricted to just the weekends. We'll see. And if they were to win that, then they'll play once again in the following weekends. That was overall, I think, a good win for IUPUI. It did look a little bit rough at times on that T side of, or should I say the CT side of Ancient? But I mean, the CT side of Ancient can be that way sometimes. Regardless, 6-2, I think that's a record they can be pretty happy with. Even if you don't lose to Arizona State, you're likely to be matched up against either Northwood or RIT or Drexel at some point in the future, which could have also resulted in a loss. Could you have ended up with a higher Buchholz seed in that case? Yes. So your seeding might have been, maybe 4 or 5 rather than 6. But at the end of the day, you still get to 6-2, and you still are seeded to, make money on the season. So we'll see if they can actually come through and beat CSM or ASU or MSU, whoever they get matched up here. Wait a minute. Oh, no shot. Michigan State, CSM, and Aura and ASU are all Buchholz tied. There's no shot? They literally are reaping the rewards of their mistake yet again. All right, so it truly can be any one of these 3 teams. I don't know how their tiebreaker system works, and I would assume that if you're Straylock or if you're anyone on IUPUI that you want to plan for this playoff game as the week progresses, you're going to want to ask that question to the admins immediately to try to figure out who you're playing next week. Because, I mean, there's a big difference, in my opinion, between ASU and CSM and Michigan State. At the very least, CSM and the other 2. Yeah. So, any final words here, Jackie CDD?
It was a hell of a season for WMU. We tried. We put our heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
Great season.
We'll show them quickly on the standings. WMU ended up at 5-3, and at the end of the day, the Buchholz isn't strong enough due to some early season losses mainly. But ended up with the same record as a lot of strong teams, including the Florida team we just watched, including ASU, who IUPUI lost to. So if the Buchholz had been better, WMU could have made playoffs, and at best could have made even the 10 seed. But 5-3, I mean, still a pretty good record. You ended up above Michigan and Buchholz in the final standing, so
yeah,
you got that to brag about, I guess. All right, well, we're in the stream there.